Another late night video blog. Busy day at work, wasn't able to get one in, and I'm gonna try to keep this one short because the last couple ones have been really long. And I think what we're gonna talk about right now is this one's more for students, but I think it's for anybody. And one of the things I realize, and it's something I'm really fearful of doing, is that so often in education and whatnot, we put people in some boxes. And I think if I think about my own example, I see a lot that as I get older, I haven't really changed much. My interests are still my interests. They evolve and whatnot, but in general, the ways I want to spend my time and do stuff, they're pretty much the same. I have the same kind of passions as I did when I was 14 and 22 and 30. And I think like my educational experience, I really wasted a lot of my time because I was trying to fit into a box that wasn't the right fit, and I didn't recognize that. I've noticed my streak as a designer has kind of always been related to the idea of marketing things. So the first things I designed, well, I guess the first things I designed were zines, and then later I designed ads for my little record label and for the mail order I would run. And I would maybe help friends with things. And I never kind of fully recognized the degree to which the stuff I did was about drawing attention to things. It was about making something else happen. And when I went to school, I was trying so hard to fit into a certain box that I didn't know what to do. I had become like convinced that like the commercial design world was awful. I had virtually no work to show for it. I never knew what to do because everything was so out of whack. And in the perspective I have, that if you have creative block, it's a symptom of something gone wrong. If you don't know what to do, it's a symptom of something gone wrong. If you procrastinate, that's a symptom. Procrastination is not a problem. Creative block can't be cured because creative block isn't the problem. The problem is process. The problem is mindset. The problem is aligning your interests and your actions and your working style and the context, getting it all in the same spot. And so I didn't have a toolbox to recognize that and to see the need to connect all those things. And so I couldn't. And now, I sort of like am able to better see what's going on, and I have a theory. Never had a working theory of this, and I never heard anyone express a working theory. So I think one of the real dangers is so often, and like if I look at people I went to school with who suffered from similar problems, that the problems are kind of the same, which is that there is a misalignment of working styles and projects and actions, and oftentimes that misalignment comes from trying to stuff yourself into a box that you don't belong in. And I think as a student, you gotta watch out for people trying to stuff you into a box. You gotta watch out for working on projects that infusing political content into stuff when you actually don't give a shit. I remember a couple years ago teaching a class, and there was an idea of having the students do like some pro bono work, and I kind of wasn't down with it. I thought it was a little bit corny, but I was like, whatever. And then within that, talking to some of the students and discovering that they also thought it was corny and it wasn't actually something that they wanted to do. But I was under the impression that all design students circa 2011 were all about nonprofits and social work. But it was more that people running design programs in 2011 were trying to force all their students into this box. And as such, there was tons of creative block and confusion and really good designers not knowing what the fuck they should be doing with their time because everyone's trying to force them into this stupid ass box. And luckily, eventually they get out of that box and they sort of re-find themselves. But it sucks to have to re-find yourself. You don't want to have to do that, you know what I mean? You want to be who you are and own who you are. And it's fine and awesome if you actually want to design skateboard graphics and you don't care about saving the world. And it's fine if you want to save the world and you don't give a shit about making pretty stuff. So that would be my my little one for tonight. It's just beware of the boxes people are trying to force you into and look for the symptoms of when it's happening. Let's see if I can get into some light for the good night part of this thing. There we go. All right, have a good night.